All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get airborne. Accelerated retirement. Man, we are having an absolute blast here at Top Gun Options, especially, and you just can't make this stuff up, folks. I think I might patent the saying one more day, man, because it really does make a difference here. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that, Kevin. Yeah, it's getting a lot of notes and support and some texts and stuff. But again, I'd love to claim it as skill and brains and everything like that. These are all lessons learned, man. These everything that I teach you guys ain't because I was born with it, and you guys can do this as well. Wow, what a great couple days here. To start with, so let's go back to last week. Volatility. If you're new to Top Gun Options, man, and you haven't written this down yet, please take a moment. When volatility is cheap, you buy it. When it's expensive, you sell it. And when you hear me say this is nuts, you need to sit up in your chair and stop mentally clubbing in the Bahamas and listen to me. We got long volatility last week when the VIX was smashed down to 1060, 1070. That was retarded cheap. Right, with everything going on around the world, the puts and calls in the S&P 500 30 days out, we're pricing in what? Perfection, and that's just absolutely impossible. Look at this headline. I told you this. This is a stock headline. U.S. stocks fall as trade tensions persist. How many times have I showed you the left side of this chart and said, "Hey, folks, does everybody remember? I'm trying to ski in Aspen here, and we find out Mark Zuckerberg's an ass." But trade war fears. I told you in this rally, I said, folks, we are actually in a trade war, and the market, another wizism, the market only cares when it cares, and I said it will care again. Let's talk about our M&M rally. There's a rally, boop, back to the 50, whoop, back to the 50, another rally, head fake. And I said, folks, this should have been back down to the 50. We didn't get there. Now we're doing it. I don't think we're going to touch it. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But, man, we have absolutely nailed all of this. We nailed China. I told you it is absolutely going to implode. I have two of my personal, these guys are Commanding Officers Club clients. Steve, I know you're in here, man. He's 17.5, or I think you're in here, $17,500 in 2 or 3 days, man, on a bearish double vertical on FXI. Told you guys this, and last night, hopefully some of you guys got to attend the session with Anka and Christian. What did I say, man? I said this is, and we said this yesterday. Where's my line? I said this is a quadrant 1, 2, 3. I said this is a triple bottom, and it's going to break this. It's going to break it with some serious airspeed. And what did I say the other day? I said I would do a bearish double vertical on FXI. To my two clients who listened to me in our coaching sessions, one's up 15 grand and one is up 17.5. So again, not skill, it's using our brains. It's using our methodology here, our strategic, operational, tactical. I've tried to beat this into your head that if on a day like today, down 200 on the Dow, down 2025 on the S&P, if your portfolio is all red, you're doing it wrong. You are trading wrong. You didn't have your hedges on and you didn't listen to me. And what was yesterday's homework or the other day's homework? I said, please start taking a look at SDS. Right, the ProShares Ultra Short. Paul, I saw that you threw this in the red room. That would be a good opportunity to look at SDS. Remember, the ProShares Ultra Short goes what? It goes up as the market goes down. So very happy that everybody's happy. We'll talk about the specific trades here in a little bit. I mean, hell, even just those straight VIX calls up 4,500 bucks. Doubled to nearly tripled in value here in a week. So we'll take a look at all this stuff tactically in a couple minutes. What I wanted to do is if you are interested in being a Commodores Club coaching, we usually charge about $600 an hour for coaching. This, I think if you do the math, it ends up being what, $415 an hour. So this is that. If you want some one-on-one coaching with me, but you're not ready for the 15, 17, 5, 20 type of coaching, those guys literally, they got my cell phone number. We talk daily. I mean, we do some trading here. You can go ahead and take a look at Commodores Club. This is just under about $5,000 a year. Literally, with the VXX bull put bullish double vertical, the VIX calls, and the FXI bear call spread, that's $10,000, and it's about $11,000 in profit in a week. So I would take these type of profits on a hedge day like this and roll it into you. Or if you're interested, and I know somebody recently, Anne, got her lifetime membership. So in these moments, guys, invest in yourself. Because like I said, there are trades that I don't do as a portfolio manager, because I try and go down the fairway as a portfolio manager, and teaching you guys, I kind of go down the fairway with stuff. But my coaching clients, I get to know them. We shoot the shit, and we talk through various stuff here. So yeah, Kevin, you guys got a great deal. These are going up each time. So as I said, I mistakenly said it's supposed to be 17.5 this year, and I think I said twice this year it's 15. So I'm not gonna. It will be 17.5 on January 1st. So if you want to, essentially, I think Kevin, you were a 12.5 guy, and I mean Fish is like a 10 grand guy. So do the math, man. So Fish is got a hell of a great investment going on here. So you guys know me in the marketing crap. I don't like doing it, but on days like today where you're seeing 10 grand in stuff, invest in yourself. The Commodores Club, I think, is on the website, but so here, everybody look in the chat box. If you are interested in Commodores Club coaching, it's one-on-one coaching with me, 30 minutes or an hour. I give you a trade plan. I know Jeff, I know Edmund. It was tough. It's tough filling out your personal trade plan. Why? Because you got to think. I'm gonna force you to do some work. But guess what, man? Tiger Woods has a swing coach. He's got a putting coach. Anybody good has a coach. I have mentors, man. Obviously, you guys know I pick up the phone and talk to a lot of smart people who I think are smarter than me. But I got a lot of calls today about the reverse. A lot of people listened to me last week, and they're actually doing a hell of a lot better. Here's the lifetime page. If you're interested in securing your lifetime membership before it goes up, and you want to take some of these hedge profits, that's it. The price on this page is wrong. Obviously, it'll be there eventually, but my techie put the wrong price on there. So don't. It's if you're listening to my voice, not on a replay next year. If you're listening to my voice, it's 15K. Until December 31st, and then it will be 17.5. It's gone up $2,500 a year per year for the past 3-4 years. Okay, so enough of this stuff. You bet, absolutely. You're welcome for that. So, all right, guys, let's go. But on days like today, you really should reinvest in yourself, and I think Harry, I just saw it fly by in the chat box. I'm getting ready to get short volatility. What did I say yesterday? I'm like, so give me one more day. I think we need one more day, and I think we're going to go. Because yesterday, look at this. The VIX, what did I say yesterday was? Does anybody remember what I called yesterday potentially? A dead cat bounce. We nailed that, man. After this implosion here, I said, we literally drew what? We drew this and this. That's exactly right, Dennis. I said, hey, man, this is a relief rally. It's a dead cat bounce. It's a relief rally. I think whenever I put question marks up here, and I said, hey, man, if I had my druthers, I don't think we're going to keep doing that. There's enough shit show in the world where that's most likely going to happen. So very happy with our market calls and couldn't be more pleased with our performance here. All right, here we go. So like I said, this headline could have been put up at any time. And as I briefed you, some of the folks that I talked to that I feel that are smarter than me said what? I shared this with you for the past week or so. Ever since this rally, I said, guess what? People are looking for an excuse to sell off. I think Turkey is going to be contagion. I don't think so. The guy's a jerk, or we'll talk about it in a second here, but we really are starting to see a little bit of a creep into emerging markets. The FXI, and you know what? I haven't even looked at Brazil today. The EWZ, yeah, that's not that bad. But FXI, man, look out below. This is for those of you who aren't my coaching clients and listen to me just on your own. You're printing money on a bearish double vertical on FXI, and I think it's got lower to go. I don't think we've seen a bottom here. When you see these headlines, hold on, let me grab this one. China's growth engine sputters as it battles the U.S. over trade. They're at a 1999 record low. I was still flying out of Marine Corps Air Station Miramar on active duty the last time these numbers were that low. We briefed this yesterday. The New York Times headline, Trump's trade war is rattling China's leaders. They don't know what the hell to think of this dude, which can be good. It worked out so far with the North Korean leader, right? Hey, I'm going to be as crazy as that dude is, and I'm going to out crazy you, right? But let me cover this headline because I'm going to save this one for our next Full Throttle in the fall or something like that. Is this type of thing when somebody goes, you heard politics and where's the trades, or I don't like your politics. U.S. policy stirs foreign markets. Investors' allocation to U.S. stocks and bonds have climbed, blah, 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 as the White House intensified volatility in overseas markets. Are you stupid? Kevin, everything in this market is driven by politics. People who are mentally retarded don't understand that, right? And look at, God almighty, look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a criminal. Last week, he lied. He was specific about a price. He was specific that he had funding secured, and he did it because he hates the fact that people don't believe in him and short his stock. The man should be thrown in prison. Martha Stewart was thrown in prison. I think Elon Musk deserves to go to jail. If I was short the stock last week and he did that, I would sue. He's in trouble. He is in a lot of trouble. And the board of directors essentially has impaneled a commission to maybe look into whatever, man. I mean, we'll see what happens here. Hillary Clinton's still running around free, so I have zero faith in our justice system. But if our justice system was fair, if you did some insider trading, you'd be in jail. What about that congressman last week? Yeah, I think he's a Republican, right? Republican congressman got finally charged with insider trading. So, it's just, oh, good. There you go. Awesome. You're welcome, Jesse. Sign up, man. grab a monthly subscription, or as you guys know, the annual's the way to go, guys. It's don't. I'm not going to say waste your money a monthly subscription, but it's I'm not a charity, but it's better if you do an annual for you. It's better for me if you do month to month. But Jesse, yeah, hopefully welcome aboard. And like we say, not too many services out there literally open up the doors and let you fly around in here and see our positions and everything like that. But again, men lie, numbers don't. Turkey to boycott U.S. electronics in retaliation against sanctions. So do I feel that they banned short selling to prevent against market abuse, all that type of stuff? I don't feel this. I wanted one more day because I felt one more day of volatility and going higher. Here's the deal, though. Unless this thing really, really, really catches fire in emerging markets, really, we've seen this dance before here at Top Gun Options. We've seen the China, Brazil get pounded, and then what happens? We forget that happened. I mean, the market does. I don't. So this is, it's. We've thrown this word around back and forth over the past couple trading sessions. Contagion, not a contagion. I don't think it is. I think in a week or 2 weeks from now, we're talking about, does everybody even remember Supreme Court Justice nominee Kavanaugh? That thing's about to heat up. In a couple weeks, you're going to see the most disgusting attacks against a human being you've ever seen in your life, right? Here comes another lynching like Clarence Thomas. The Democrats it's going to be a shit show. The president said, hey, I'm going to shut down this government in the fall if I don't get funding for my border wall. You think they're going to fund his border wall? We have elections coming. I'm heading up to Vermont tomorrow, so no Analyze Your Trade tomorrow, guys. I'm heading up to Vermont tomorrow, where a transvestite is running for governor in Vermont. So looking forward to heading up to Vermont and hanging out. So we have a lot of volatility, and I haven't even mentioned the I word lately, Iran. So volatility is going to spike again. Here's the cool thing is I don't typically get in and out super day trade with these volatility trades, but you could have. Yesterday, you could have gotten, out of your bullish double vertical and put another one on. Remember, I was talking about having dueling trades on. You could be long and short volatility at the same time. Why would you do that? Because you have a big question mark over here about, I don't know where this market's going to go. Great. Close one and leave the other one open. So you can, Doc, don't worry about it, man. It's, what I'm getting at, guys, is this isn't a missed opportunity. In the fall, with the Supreme Court nominee, with the elections, with the wall funding, with the Iranian sanctions, I know I'm forgetting like 90 things. We're going to see another big spike in volatility. But remember, the VIX is a heart rate monitor. Look at this. It has a resting heart rate. Holy crap, something freaks us out. All right, never mind. Holy crap, something freaks us out. A little bit of a freak out. Holy crap, something. So one more time, when volatility is cheap, you buy it. And last week, right here at 1060 or 1070, I said, now this is stupid cheap. Now that we're getting even this extended period of vol, this was about 3 weeks when the VIX was kind of elevated for a while. It came down. Now, I'm going to go politician here and reserve the right to revise and extend my remarks, meaning if this is a contagion and China continues to implode and Brazil and holy crap, everything's going wrong, the VIX will stay elevated for a little while longer. But it will come back in. Unless it's the end of days, volatility is going to come back in. So in a couple minutes, we're actually going to look to do what? Get bearish on volatility. I sent this article out in yesterday's replay. Did everybody read this? I said, please read this. Traders have never, see that word never? Traders have never paid so much for crash protection. It's called skew. I'm not going to make your eyes glaze over and talk about how the flight controls work. Look at this. Look at this. Skew, extreme volatility. Like I said, I've been doing this for 26 years. Look at this, man. This is where the VIX, it's the normal vol was laying. Here's where the skew was. It was through the roof. So this was a canary in the coal mine. We had a bunch of other canaries in the coal mine that we've briefed over the past couple weeks, but this is why I sent this to you last night. So we knew a storm was coming. I didn't pick the exact date and time, but it doesn't matter, right? As long as you have your hurricane insurance on. How about this? This was a mixed bag today. I told you yesterday that my eyes would be on a lot of this stuff. Retail sales, not that bad. The Empire Fed, good beat. Productivity, big miss. Labor costs, miss. The cap rate, in line. Industrial production, huge miss. Business inventories, flat. The National Association of Home Builders. So this was a mixed, this didn't help. I mean, obviously, what Rogden's doing or whatever the hell his name is, the president and tweets and everything, this data, as I watched it, sitting here with my cup of coffee, roll off the flight deck, was mixed. So, instead of doing that type of thing, what did I say my strategic mindset was the other day? What did I say I am? Volatile. Look at this, volatile, right? I said I wasn't bullish, I wasn't bearish. I said, what? We're going to do this stuff. Exactly, Harry. I said I'm volatile, so to speak. So having said all that, and I'm not going to get into, I want to talk about our vol trades and FXI and stuff like that. This dude's a criminal. What he did is criminal, period. If you look at the letter of the law, the dude didn't have funding. The board has admitted it. He did it to squeeze short. This isn't, ladies and gentlemen, Tamara's still on vacation, but what if you're mom and pop retail investor? You had a strategic mindset like I do that this thing if it's an auto company, man, the barriers to entry, Christ almighty, Porsche's got one of these. BMW's, everybody's going to or will have, and who cares? This dude is John DeLorean, period. But what if you were a retail trader? What if you were a retail trader and got obliterated by this? You have enough money to go get an attorney and sue Tesla. So the dude needs to get in trouble. As he allegedly, quote unquote, wants to go private. I know everybody knows he was full of shit now. Here comes a Chinese. So this is, he's in trouble. And I'm not going to get into the fangs. I think Facebook's down $3-4 today. Twitter, those things all suck. Stay away from them. Get out of them. Amazon, let's take a look at Amazon, because we have a bull put spread on there. Not that bad. I mean, 1.5%, considering, nice little run. This thing ain't, I'm not worried about this at all. What did I say about Amazon? Somebody tell me what I said about Amazon. Anybody see anything up here? I predicted, first of all, we predicted $1,900 back here. I said what? 1,900 is going to be what? A magnet. I said it's going to go up through 1,900. It's going to go underneath 1,900. And by the time our bull put spread, the one in this portfolio was September, is going to be fine. Remember, the market likes, market makers, traders, algorithms love round numbers. They love 1,800, 1,900, 2,000 on Amazon. So don't worry about that. The next stop for Amazon is 2,000 easily. In was it 2 months, we're going to be talking about Cyber Monday, Black Friday. They've done the best they've ever done in their entire existence. This stock's fine. So remember, on a day like today, what do you do with if you mirrored most of the trades from FXI and volatility and everything like that, and you're looking at this, what do you do with that 10K besides go have a nice night out at the local folk dancing establishment? You got it, Kevin. Add to those Jan 20s that are getting hammered. Maybe there was enough of profit in here where you could afford a single long call diagonal contract in Amazon. You add to your good longs. You add to your CSX. Glad CSX is actually coming back in a little bit, because that helps out a bear call spread that we got going on here. Oh, I thought it was a little lower than that. But here's a perfect example. Take a lot of those profits from those hedges over the past week and plow them back into a CSX, plow them into an ExxonMobil. Take your hedges, take the winnings from your hedges, and then put them back into the longs here. So said the same thing about ExxonMobil. Pound this thing into the dirt. This is bearish double vertical time on this. But it's not, and this is what you have to learn this, folks. And if you're new to options trading, it might be a little weird. Like, wait a minute, Wiz, you're long-term bullish on this, on ExxonMobil out to Jan 20. Yeah, but it's imploding. If you don't think ExxonMobil is going to be twice, at least double its stock price right now in a couple years, then why are you in it? You shouldn't be in this thing. But while you're Jan 20, I try and tell you, try and treat yourself like an F-35, like the Joint Strike Fighter. What do I mean by that? The Joint Strike Fighter, ladies and gentlemen, actually, if you look at the cockpit, it's all glass. I think they have like one steam gauge, it's called, like a backup attitude indicator. What does the flight control and the mission computers in that jet do? What? They are smart enough to do what? Limit the information that they display to the pilot. So clean it up. Exactly. So right now, don't look at your Jan 20s. If you got a lot of reds on your screen today and you're freaking out, you shouldn't be in your Jan 20s. I mean, that's stupid. I don't even look at my Jan 20s on a day like today. You know what I do? I start trading the hell out of the front months, right? Bear call spreads, sell some front month upside calls, or down, in at the money calls. If you're looking for some, great trade yesterday from ExxonMobil. This thing's already, I don't even know what it is. I haven't even looked at the profit in ExxonMobil today. Another great one-day trade. So, okay. Let's go ahead and start debriefing here. So we're not doing an analyze your trade tomorrow because, like I said, I'll be on an airplane up to Vermont, dropping the boy off at college, crying like a baby. So the FXI, this is an analyze your trade since we're not having it tomorrow. Let's talk a little bit about that. The FXI trade, obviously, it's at what, a penny right now. So this thing was risking $5,400 to potentially make $2,100. You can close it now for like $20.50. Oh, Bob, I'm talking about me. So the FXI trade, I would get out of and close that thing. That's looking great. Let's focus on these. The VIX calls. How many of you did either the VIX calls, the double vertical, or both? Did anybody do both? Because remember, I kind of put, awesome, Rick, I kind of put a little scale on this, right? Good, Gary. I said, hey, if you're bullish on volatility, maybe do some VIX calls. If you're really bullish, do a VXX bull put spread. If you're really, really, really bullish, do a VXX DV, double vertical. Hopefully everybody write this down. Put this on a yellow sticky, put it in your trade journal. Do something, folks. Write that down. If you're bullish on vol, I think vol's going to go up. You buy some VIX calls. If you're really bullish, you do a VXX bull put spread. And then obviously you guys know with the double vertical, you need what? The 3 R's. I'm really, really, really bullish. Okay, so we did kind of all of these things in the past couple weeks because I felt all of those feelings at different days. So and I know, like Doc, you're in here. If you don't know what a double vertical is, I'm actually going to do a Sue. Look at that! I did 2 double verticals. That's a quadruple vertical. If you don't know what a double vertical is, I'm going to do a bearish one here in a second. But do me a favor, spend some time on the Full Throttle page here. I'll just scroll directly down to it and do this. Full Throttle Session 6, double verticals. The kids go to bed, you're hanging out on the beaches, whatever you're doing, watch this replay. And because right now, we got, 34 minutes left, so I'm gonna look at a bearish double vertical, and I don't have blinding amounts of time to do the academics of it, right? That's why we do these training sessions at night, and we'll start those in a couple weeks. Like I said, I want to get back from Vermont next week, take a little mind time, and maybe the week after that we'll start our live training again. Maybe the week of the 27th or something like that. We'll see. I'll brief you on it. So make sure you're watching this stuff. So. Paul, hey man, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't give you a sad face. That's a happy face, man. Don't sell yourself short. That's some good trading there. All right, here we go. Yeah, the ExxonMobil. Somebody let me know what that's up. I haven't even looked at that at the ExxonMobil trade. But this one, now it's some of these are momentum, guys. Easy for me to say. There was a bottom. Skimmed. This was kind of a triple bottom, and that imploded. So my strategic mindset, let me get back to our kind of radar picture here, continues to be, wow, 10 cents. Nice. That's a nice one-day gain. I think everybody, I swear to God, man, it's so cool. What did I say we're going to do over here yesterday and Monday? I highlighted this little area and did what? I said, paste it right here. You see that little oil well dig down to the 50-day? You see this? Look at this. Oh, good. So the ExxonMobil's up about 36% in a day. You need to hold that thing. That thing's not finding a bottom anytime soon. So look at this. This is right here. A little bit of a touch. We're doing what this is right here. This is not the Fred Sanford, in my opinion. This is not the Jan 19. I saw this question about a Jan. We don't, folks. I don't look to unwind any Jan anythings until when? November, December of the year before they're going to expire. Does that make sense? So we're going to look at any Jan. So a Jan 19. We'll look at closing those things and getting them off the book around November, December. So, and what's cool is the reminder to start maybe rolling that out of your portfolio is what? And I don't want to date myself. The what? The Jan 21s do what? The Jan 21s get airborne off the flight deck. We'll go on the SIBO site or whenever it is and see when they get released. So when the next year's leaps come out, you start to look at closing your most your oldest leap, so to speak. All right. So here's my strategic mindset, and it takes a little bit of, when you're dogfighting a jet, we call it being out of phase and out of plane, not like out of the airplane, but out of the plane of motion. So if your enemy's going nose high, you go nose low. This is the way you have to trade volatility. Let's bring up VXX. The good thing about VXX is what? It goes down over time anyway, right? Take a look at the 2-year chart of the VXX. Whoa. Backwardation, contango, and it rebalances on a daily basis. A year ago, they had to do a reverse 4-for-1 split or the thing was going to be at zero. So we get a little bit of that help anyway. But even look at this. You see this? What was that? Let me see that. I saw Fred Sanford. Won't see Sanford. Paul, that's exactly right. And I briefed you on the Goldman Sachs report a couple days ago that even though the Chinese leaders are looking at each other going, hey man, this dude's a little nuts. What are we going to do about him? You have to believe that the adults are going to talk. Steve Mnuchin, Larry Kudlow, Peter Navarro, they're going to get in a room eventually and do something, right? So if that's the case, I said this yesterday, if that is the case, we fix this stuff. And Donald Trump, folks, believes that what? He believes in I have the airspeed at my back, economy, unemployment. He thinks he's got, and I agree with him, he's got some room to maneuver. Oh, nice, Chuck. Oh, that is awesome, man. Congratulations. Holy shit. Let me, I'm going to grab a screenshot of that, Chuck. Congrats, man. Come be a coaching client or get your lifetime membership. Chuck, well done. Everybody give Chuck a golf clap, a virtual golf clap. Congrats. Okay. So here's what I'm getting at is I think it's time to actually do a bearish double vertical. So I think Harry asked earlier, do I see the market going lower still or any of this stuff? Yeah, we could go down to the 50-day. We could do a bunch of stuff, but here's my point. We can go out far enough in time on VXX. I mean, we were looking at the AUG 31 expiration for the current double vertical. Let's do the same thing and get bearish. Literally in one day, we've seen this. Last week, last Tuesday, some of you get nervous like, hey man, what are you doing with the VXX trade that expires Friday? I am doing nothing. With my luck, something will happen on Friday to freak the market out and we implode. What happened? Something happened on Friday morning to freak the hell out and the market imploded. It was Donald Trump and Turkey and all that stuff. So what I'm saying is listen to me, and I've been saying this a lot lately to a lot of new members to really ram this point home. During the life of this trade, this bearish double vertical I'm going to cover, there is a distinct possibility it is losing a shit pot of money. We wake up next Wednesday and Donald Trump, orders all forces removed from Incirlik Air Base along with our nuclear weapons and calls Turkey an enemy of the United States. Shit can happen, man. So my point being is, as we do a bearish double vertical on volatility, it can still go up. But listen to me, that eventually it has to come down. Even if Donald Trump did do something like that, let's stick with that analogy because I had a call with a buddy and we actually discussed a former two-star in the Air Force. He's like, dude, I think he was was he squadron commander over there, whatever, S-16. He was an ONW, Operation Northern Watch guy. He's like, Wiz, that we got things that go boom on that air station, man. I mean, so we could see a bigger spike in volatility, but where you guys know what I'm going to pull up right now, right? You guys are gonna wink. That's it. Whatever it is. Where's my William of Wallace picture, man? When in doubt, this, right? William Wallace, hold. This is the discipline. This is everything like that. And you could not have more Obama teachable moments than we have seen here in the past couple of weeks at Top Gun Options. So I'm trying to inoculate to the point that we could wake up tomorrow and the Dow's down 600 because renewed trade war fears. Okay, great. But no, by the time this trade expires, I believe by the end of the month, volatility will come in. It will come in. There will be some relief rally and it'll get on its legs again. Okay, so let's take a look at potential strike selection. Let's take a look at VXX here. 3 month. So where did we kind of topped out? Where's the high? What's that? 30, 34, 33 and a half. And see, guys, even this, when this stayed elevated for a while, it did what? It went back to its resting heart rate of about 30 and then imploded, right? And this is where we did the whole, this is nuts, this is stupid. So let's start playing with some strikes here. Let's maybe take a look at the 34, since that's kind of where it's topped out. And again, if I start losing you on this bearish double vertical, you got to watch the training. Let me just at least give you a little bit of training here. You ready? If you think volatility, the VXX is going to go down, Wiz, you're right. By August, by the end of the month, I think, we don't even remember this spike in volatility. You think it's going to go down. What do you also think it's not going to do? You also don't think it's going to go up. I just told you it might go up, but here's my point. We can do two trades on top of each other with the same strategic mindset. If you don't think the VXX is going to stay elevated, we could do what? Put a cap on it and do a bear call spread. Okay, man, you know what, Wiz? I like that because what? A bear call spread is a credit spread. We're the house, baby. We're the Ferrari dealer down in Fort Lauderdale. We love being the house. Casinos don't look the way they look because they're charities. So what would you do with that credit? Well, man, how about we buy a bear put spread because we think it's really going down. Bear put spread is what? It's a dirty word, man. It's a debit. I hate debits. But guess what? Why don't we, hopefully, we'll take a look at the math here, but hopefully the credit we take in from the bear call spread does what? I got you covered, baby. I got you, bear put spread, because I'm bringing in some serious coin. So this is, for those of you who, standard, who was it? Somebody the other week's like, crap, of course I just showed up and I got a losing trade, whatever it was, that FXI trade. I'm going to use a couple of examples. On the Brexit, we made like 11 or I think it was 22, whatever it was. We made like 11 grand going in and then 11 grand coming out, or 44. Same thing with the election. So remember, whenever you're doing bullish double verticals, get ready to roll inverted and close them and do a bearish double vertical. That's how, and I famously tell you guys what, I got the Brexit wrong. I thought they'd stay. Little did I know that Barack Hussein Obama, closed, went over there and poked him in the chest. Holy crap. Who just said that? Shane, just closed on my VIX and VXX position for 23.5. Holy shit. Shane, was that you? Shane, I think it was you last week that said, Murphy's Law, man. I show up and I get a crappy FXI trade. And what they say, hey, man, give me some time. So God bless you, Shane. Holy crap. Shane, 23.5. Holy shit. God bless America. Well, Shane, let me try and add this that right here. So let's take a look at this. So let's build this trade together. Here is the bear call spread, right? I'm going to throw 150 contracts in here. That's awesome, man. Shane, you better be getting your lifetime membership, man. Otherwise, you're wasting money. Give Susie a call or shoot her an email. All right, so here's the bear call spread. Okay. So looking to sell 150 of the AUG 31. I told you why I'm going out a couple weeks of the 34 calls. I might actually. This would be a more conservative. If you think, hey, Wiz, this shit show ain't over yet, man. Tesla, that dude might get, thrown in bracelets here, or the FANG implosion. I might do that one, the 33.5, 34. Okay, so let's just build this together. You ready? Selling 150 of the AUG 31, 33.5 calls, buying the 34s. This, everybody should know, because you've watched your full throttle videos. Bearish on volatility. I'm using calls, and it's a spread. What's it called? A bear call spread. Yeah, I know, Wiz, it sucks trading options since you're new. They call it also a credit spread, and it's also called a vertical, whatever. I call it one thing. It's a bear call spread, but look at this. We're getting paid to do this. We're getting paid $22.50 to get bearish on volatility out 2.5 weeks. But all of these moments I like to take and say, stop. Sit there and go, hey man, there's a 45% probability that you're wrong, that Donald Trump launches nukes against Turkey and India implodes and Brazil, the favelas riot. Yeah, I have to say that. So that's awesome, Shane. Well done. That's awesome. Good. That's some good work. So Shane it sounds like Shane's, hey, Wiz, I took a look at your SOP and it looks like I kind of like that SOP. So I'm going to grab that one too. Shane SOP. So Shane sounds like, hey man, I got my own SOP, and I'm doing the Lord's work. All right. So look at this. This is a credit spread, guys. Now what did I say we're going to do? Let's take a look at the bear put spread. We took care of our bear call. Now let's look at the bear put. And obviously these got to be puts. Put. Let's make sure we got the same amount of contracts, 150. 150. So we'd be buying what do we got? The 33.5, 34s. Let's look at like the 32.5, 32. And you can play with these, guys. We'd be buying that and then selling the 32s. So play with these, and you can play with the math. Okay? Now, usually on the way down, guys, it'll be a debit spread. Right? Let me make sure I got these strikes right. I'd be buying the 32.5 puts, and maybe let's go up a little bit. What am I doing here? You can sit here and play with these and move the math around. Notice that this is what? A big stinking, what's it say right there? Debit. Right? Why? And we'll probably do half those contracts. Why is it a debit spread? Can somebody help me? Now let's do the 30. How about 31.5, 31. That's a less of a debit. Why is it a debit spread? Somebody help me out. I'm confused. Wiz, on the way up it was a credit spread. Why is this one a debit spread? Why am I coming out of pocket? I thought you hated debit spread. Why is this a debit spread? Yeah, that's probably around the math I'm looking at. I was going to say 75 and 75. But you can sit here and play with your strikes, folks. But here's the reason this is a debit spread. Well, Steve's exactly right. First of all, it's math. But what I'm trying to get to is the math. Let's take the math out of it. Why is it a debit spread? The reason this is a debit spread, folks, is what is the market telling me? When I look at that trade, what is the market telling me? That's part of it, Paul. Here's what the market's telling me. Let's cover the bullish double vertical first. What did we do last week? We used our thinking brains and said what? We did a damn good, just ask me, strategic and operational brief. And I said what? Hey man, the VIX is getting smashed below 11. It's at 1060. Here's my exact words from last week. We're at an inflection point. And I listed a bunch of shit that would be down here. Thank you, Steve. Bam, Steve gets the gold star. So we, last week, took some risk. The market is an insurance company, folks. What happened? We said, you know what? We think, based on all of our good intel gathering and our strategic and operational mindset that Wiz taught us, something is going to happen to freak the market out in the next couple of weeks. The market said what? You're high. The market looked at you and me and us and Shane and said, dude, what are you, retarded? The VIX is down here at 11, at 1050, 1068, Wiz. You're stupid. No, that's not what I said to myself. I said, guys, this is nuts. In 26 years of doing this shit, when it gets down here, it get long. So we got paid. I literally used the analogy last week when I said what? The market is saying, I will pay for your auto, home, and life insurance for the next 2.5 weeks, Wiz. You're good, man. Now what's the market telling us? The market's telling us, dude, well, you ain't no rocket surgeon. Of course, by the end of the month, most likely volatility will come in. Everybody listen to me, and if you didn't understand that, watch the replay. That should make intuitive sense. The market is saying, dude, most likely volatility is going to come back in. Right? Now there's math behind that and skew and a lot of shit I can bore you with, but using your thinking brain, we're not the only dudes and ladies in the world that look at this chart and go, whoa, 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 whoa. Remember? So this is a little bit more known. Last week was, hey man, Wiz, all right, I'm sticking my cigar in my mouth and putting my scarf out the canopy and I'm flying formation with you. Now the market's looking at us going, yeah, okay, genius. Everybody else thinks vol's coming in either. But this is why I've stopped 3 times at least before, firing this thing and saying what? There's a distinct possibility that one of these things happens. Whoa, whoa, and we stay up here a little bit. But again, I threw my leash, so to speak, far enough out where I think something like that's going to happen. Okay? But if you're sitting here going, hey man, your strategic and operational briefs for the past couple of days have freaked my ass right the hell out, then stay in the double vertical. Stay bullish on volatility. Or if you've already closed your long VIX calls for $4,500, whatever they were from last week, throw some more VIX calls on. You can have, and again, let me say this, you can have dueling trades. Wiz, I'm short in volatility with a bearish double vertical like you are, but I'm going to sneak over to the VIX bin and grab some of those suckers. Not a bad idea. Okay? But so the trade's on the screen. It's about a 12, 13 cent debit. It's bopping around here. Oh, no, 11. So let's do the analyze here, man. So it's less of a debit. Let's try and stick it mid-market. It was like 12 cents a little while ago. So here are your metrics. We're risking right around our SOP of $5,600 to potentially make $3,400. Obviously, the VXX bullish double vertical on the way up, potentially we were risking what, 5 to make 9 or whatever it was. Good looking trade. Now, everybody, if you're sitting here going, holy, my brain hurts, go watch the double vertical trading, but recognize that this is how this trade makes money. That's VXX right now as we speak. There's the bear call spread. There's the bull put spread. So just looking, if you don't understand what a double vertical is, look at the damn picture. It's 2 vertical spreads on top of each other with the same strategic mindset. Bearish. So this blue line, we want to do what? We want vol to come in. Okay? How do we lose money on this thing? Vol goes up. But it's not a loss until you close it. Last week, if you're a new member or you're on a test flight, please sit here over the weekend or the next couple of days while I'm up in Vermont. Watch the replays from last week, folks. I don't know how many times I said with some of these trades, like during the life of this trade, it might be red on your screen. If that's going to freak you out, you're in the wrong business. All I care about is what? When the damn thing expires, right? All right, so let me grab I got to grab screenshots of this puppy. And I'll tell you what, we usually don't do text alerts in Accelerated Retirement because the trades they're supposed to be longer term, but I'll send this out to the Analyze Your Trade list, which everybody should be on. Okay, so there's the metrics, there's this. So it's I'll be honest with you, it's more fun, right, doing the bullish double verticals and being right and going, ha-ha, I feel like Nostradamus. Sometimes doing the bearish ones, you almost feel bad, like, well, of course volatility is going to come in, or it should. But one more time, guys, during the life of this trade, it could be wrong. Donald, folks, we're a tweet away from all sorts of shit shows. I get that. But look at last week. We were whistling past the graveyard. The market needed this. I'm going to go Colonel Nathan Jessup from A Few Good Men, right? You wanted a sell-off. You needed a sell-off. So we got our A Few Good Men pullback here. I don't think we're gonna test the 50, or even if we do, we'll test it and we'll head higher. Okay. The market needed an excuse to, the market needed an excuse to clean house. I told you this. I was having a end of season pool party down here, and I was literally texting with buddies of mine who are up in the Hamptons doing their closing parties. So, well, exactly, Steve. It's I could have bone spurs. This doesn't have the feel of panic. Now I think we were down 300 on the Dow at one point. We're down 239. This doesn't feel like the Fred Sanford. Kind of like I said yesterday, I wanted one more day, and then I was going to go ahead and do this. This is exactly, Doc. That's why the other day I said, I don't feel like this Turkey thing's a contagion. It ain't Greece. It really wasn't, holy crap, we're going to boot these guys out of the Eurozone. Turkey's a shit show. We lost Turkey when the coup failed. Now this dude is snuggling up to Putin. The way it gets uglier, Doc, is, I showed you yesterday in the live trade brief, the Wall Street Journal op-ed that said what? We need to boot Turkey out of NATO. They should not be a NATO member. Get rid of them. Why boot Turkey from NATO and add Ukraine? Add some of those Baltic states that have been begging to be in NATO. So there could be more volatility, but Ed, you're right. We were looking for an excuse to sell off. And Friday morning, when Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of last week, people were like, "Hey man, what are you doing with your vol trade?" I'm like, "Nothing." Then Friday morning, Donald J. Trump. You love or hate him, man. If you're a trader, you love him. I love this. I was out to dinner last night with some friends on Las Olas in Lauderdale, and half the people hated him, half the people loved him. I go, I don't care. The dude is great for volatility. He's, and this Omarosa shit. And I love how the liberal media didn't even know that woman existed. Never interviewed her. She was a nobody. And now that she's making shit up about the president, she's like the darling of the media. Whatever. So yes, the market needed an excuse to sell off. And, when the leader of a country says, "Hey man, we're not going to buy anything American." I think he raised, what the hell did he raise the tariffs on U.S. cars to, or something like that? So these headlines don't help. I mean, he literally mentioned Apple. He said, "You're not going to be able to sell any Apple products in Turkey." I don't know if Tim Cook really gives a shit. I don't know if that's a massive amount of business, but it is money, right? So, it could get worse. So I don't know. So we do have bases in Turkey, in Incirlik Air Base, and I think we have, Shrek, you probably know better than I do. Well, we have other bases in Turkey. I'll leave it at that. The big one that we know about is Incirlik, obviously. So let me send this out to this list. With AUG 17 expire, Gene, I just don't. There are bigger issues than regular equity options expiring. It's almost a non-event to me. I don't think it's going to be. We're seeing the volatility. The options expiring on Friday, regular monthly options expiring. I don't think it's going to add super to the vol, but that's a very astute point to bring up, and I'm glad that's a very good question, Gene. If you think that, Gene, if you didn't agree with what I just said, then wait until Monday or Friday afternoon. So yeah, if you're sitting there going, maybe I should wait a little bit, then if you're saying to yourself, kind of like Wiz does, "Hey, give me one more day, I need to see some shit," then sit on your hands a little bit. Not a bad deal, not a bad idea. Very good, very salient point, Gene. We do have there are quick reaction teams. There's a SEAL team dedicated to nuclear extraction. This is all public knowledge. You can Google it. Probably not super public knowledge, but the nuclear weapons are safe, and I guarantee you, Donald Trump could pick up the phone and say, "Hey, man, you step 1 foot on that base, I will personally put a UAV on top of you and kill you." Okay, so here we go. Do you ever do half the contracts for the debit in order to? You could, Pete. I don't do that, but I get what you're following. So. AYTND new VXX bear call spread, and it's get used to seeing these type of trades, guys. Is if you're not in this session and you get a text that says, "The dude's getting bearish on Vol, the Dow's down 200 points and all my positions are red," know that that's how you gotta start thinking, man, out of phase, out of plane with the market. That's the expiry. The bear, it's selling the 33.5 calls. As a hedge, we'll buy the upside 34 calls. That's the bear call spread. That's the debit spread. What do we do? I'm sorry, the credit spread. We turn around and we buy the 31.5 puts, and we sell the downside 31 puts. And remember, folks, like I covered in the lecture that you need to watch, you can break this up into 2 trades. The market, a market maker sees what? He or she sees this as a double vertical. That this is a iron condor, double vertical. These 4 legs go into computers and they're recognized as, hey man, this dude's doing a double vertical. However, you might anecdotally to be able to get a better fill if you put these in as 2 separate spreads. And I think you actually have to do that on Thinkorswim or some of the other portfolios. So does that make sense? Yeah, you might want to do these as 2 separate spreads and get a better fill there. Hold on, let me check my text here. Oh shit, I got a 1 o'clock or 2. Okay, we got a cruise. All right, let me send out this text. Any question? Oh, you can't do it as 1 trade? Okay, Tim, I don't know. There's some trades that people are asking questions about. It's a debit. I'd just try and get filled on this. I'm not going to give you a plus or minus, and then I'm most likely there's no adjust and eject. I really don't touch these, as you've seen in the past couple weeks. There's a reason why I say I don't touch these things. I don't roll them. I don't adjust them. In the past 2 weeks, you've seen more than ample reasons. Now you don't have to just listen to my shit. You've seen it. And you've seen why I don't do it. So this is great. Like I said, we're having a blast here. So this is for the folks who don't have cell phones or are having text alert issues. Analyze your trade and debrief new VXX bearish double vertical. Kevin, the FXI trade was just a bear call spread. It wasn't a double vertical. Like I said, that's why we did this at the beginning. 2 of my coaching clients we did bearish double verticals in FXI. That was a little dicey. Like I said the other day with FXI, I said, first of all, I said it's a triple bottom right here. And I said, each time the government right here and here, the PBOC, the People's Bank of China, the last 2 times tried to intervene and save capitalism. I said, when the markets truly wake up and realize that, holy shit, these were short-term sugar highs, right? I predicted this. I said, the market goes what? Wow, if they're doing that, it's got, short-term, yay, thank you for the extra liquidity, but you're probably lying to us and things are worse than it is. So in the regular portfolios here, I did not, all we had was a bear. Remember, you need to be really, really, really to do bearish double verticals. So this was a more riskier bet. So that's why I did it with Steve and Amy. And these guys, Steve's 17.5 on his double vertical. And I think Amy's about 15 grand. So they've, with 1 trade, with 1 bearish double vertical on FXI, they paid for not only their lifetime, but also their coaching. So yeah, I'll put that link up here. If you're interested in a lifetime, it's easier to call Susie if you're in a lifetime membership than do it on the website here. But whoever was asking for the Commodore, the coaching, if you're not up to super speed yet, just do this, man. and it's good. Because we talk, man. We look at so you would maybe have been in a bearish double vertical on FXI. It just depends on you. We talk about you. It's not me in a room here with 172 people or whatever, 142 people. So, all right, guys. Speaking of that, I do have a 2 o'clock coaching call, and then I don't, guys. Even when FXI was imploding the last time during their bear market or whatever it was, people look at our own country. 8 hours after 56, 58 people were machine gunned to death in a parking lot across the Mandalay Bay, the casino was open and people were gambling. Even if China's in a bear market, people are going to gamble. So Win ain't gonna have super healthy in it, but this again, if you're in Win, and I hate throwing parting shots out the door. I said the same thing last night in that 4:30 free trader roundtable. I said I'd be pounding this out of the dirt. I'd be doing bearish double verticals on Win right now too. Okay, Win is a hold for me. If you're if you're new here and you don't have a SIN stock, it would be MGM. I would jump, but I'm not going to double up on SIN stocks. MGM would be my new SIN stock since it's down here at $28. Okay. Jesse, you're going to have to come up a little bit. That's the market makers being a jerk. You can you can risk it a little bit and quote, let it expire worthless. When is it, by Friday? But with our luck, that's when the PBOC injects more liquidity and then FXI pops or something like that. Right. So, all right, guys, I got to jump off. That's exactly, my phone's buzzing. I need to, this is one of my Commodores Club folks. And what's cool is, since they don't have time sometimes to attend the sessions, I kind of, talk to them one-on-one about it. So, all right, guys, Paul, went through some things, sending, oh, I appreciate that, Paul. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun couple days. I mean, I think the last thing before they report and they shave their heads and stuff like that, and you get to see them as they march into their barracks and stuff like that. So it's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it. So, and you guys remember, whenever I go away, whether it was to the Keys or to Aspen with the kids, something usually goes right. So hopefully over the next couple days, something goes right. So, all right, guys, I got to run. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. I'll try and do a sit rep and maybe a Friday market wrap up from Vermont. If I don't, just know I'm always looking at the markets, folks. Sitting here on my phone, it's attached to my head. So if I need to send out any text alerts or anything, I will. So, but I appreciate it. Thanks for all the comments. If you're interested in getting your lifetime membership before it goes up in a couple months, give us a call. Or if you want to maybe try some coaching first to get to your lifetime membership investment, that's maybe some baby steps. Okay. So, all right, guys. God bless. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll get the replay posted here shortly. We'll see you.